Watch today. Debit cards are a popular alternative to credit cards. You know that because they let you spend only what you have in your checking account. But with all the reports out there about skimmers at gas stations and ATMs and a lot of hacking stories lately, there's a big question. Should we just ditch debit altogether? Because you're quite exposed here with your money. Bert is here for our Money Monday topic. Joe, always good to see you. Appreciate you coming in today.
John.
Okay, let's start with this. What are some of the dangers of using a debit card?
Well, when you use a debit card, you are using basically your checkbook. Somebody gets a hold of your credit card, they get a hold of your checking account, and that's the risk. You know, if you buy something on a debit card, you know, you're going to get it, and what if it breaks? If you're using a credit card, particularly American Express or some other credit cards, you'll get your money back. If you have a problem with it, you use a credit card, it's easier to get your money back than a debit card. If you're about to take a vacation, okay? Take a vacation. You get a rental car. You know what they do on the rental car? They charge the whole thing on your debit card up front plus some extra cost. You go to a hotel. You check in. They're gonna book immediately. They're gonna hit your debit card with a full stay plus some addition. In addition to that, John, some of these companies, now wait a minute, some of these companies will do a hard credit search on your credit score. So you got all kind of stuff going on in the background that you're not aware of that's happening with the debit card.
And it might leave you with no cash for the rest of your vacation.
Exactly. Or what if you have some outstanding checks out there?
And then all of a sudden you're upside down.
Exactly. And then you've got penalties and fees.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Not good.
All right. I guess the question for a lot of people, though, should you even have one at this point? Because you also, man, if they clean out your checking account, you're in big trouble, too, if hackers get it.
You are in very big trouble. Some people use the debit card because they want to use the ATM machine. You can get a debit card without the POS strip, the point of sale strip. So you can use it just for your ATM, but don't use it to buy stuff. I've never used a debit card. Always use a credit card.
So you've never even, but what about the people who say, I only want to live within my means, so I'm only going to use the debit card because, well, let's face it, a lot of people aren't responsible enough to have a credit card because you rack it up. What do you suggest?
I understand. Well, once again, use cash. You know, it's the old-fashioned way. Use a checking account or use a credit card and get some discipline.
What kind of credit cards do you think are best for people? Should you have a cap on some of those, you think, where it says you can only go to this level? Do you like those ideas or no?
Well, depending on how mature you are. you gotta control yourself. But you should have a credit card because heaven forbid you have an emergency. You got to get a hold of, you know, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 in a hurry. You need it. A credit card is good for that. But once again, credit cards are one of the downfalls in the country today. People have too much credit. They buy the stuff, and along comes the payment, and you can't make it, and all of a sudden you've got these high interest rates and you're in trouble.
How worried are you about all the hackings that have taken place lately?
Well, it's becoming more and more sophisticated. They have those skimmers out there. They have not only when you skim it they get the information right off the skimmer, and some of these places now have micro cameras that they can see what you're punching in on your PIN number. It's very dangerous.
Know everything about you at that point.
That's right. Use a credit card.
Joe Bert, the Oracle of Orlando. What's your website in case people want to check you out?
Financialgroup.com, John.
Financialgroup.com. Joe, always great to see you.
You too, John.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.